Yo, what up, I'm Juju, and this is gonna be my final Rec Room video. I made a video a month ago just yapping about my feelings about Rec Room, and it was completely just raw commentary without much, feedback. So I wanted to do a more, in-depth video explaining all the things and reasons why I'm quitting Rec Room content for good. And yes, this is all bad timing considering that the fact that everyone is talking about quitting and actual RecTubers are quitting. But no, I'm not trying to follow behind people quitting as if it's a trend or whatever. If you don't believe me, just look at the dates of when I posted a Rec Room video, and that'll show how I'm truly being honest. There are reasons why I barely post Rec Room content anymore, and in this video I'm gonna break all those reasons down. Custom rooms are one of the biggest innovations in Rec Room, and honestly, that's what made the game so popular. They let creators pour their heart and soul into their rooms, from quests and PvPs to horror maps and arcade-style games. Rooms like that were what kept players coming back. From 2018 through 2019, we saw a ton of amazing rooms being created, and even in 2020 through 2021, there were still some good ones. But then around that time, things started shifting. The play tab began to fill up with low-effort rooms, especially with the whole ignited room issue. That's when the community spoke up, but nothing was really done about it. By 2022, Rec Room finally announced that they'd be removing low-effort rooms and clones, but enforcement has been a big problem, and even with the introduction of the 3-strike creation policy, there's still little to no moderation. What Rec Room really needs is a dedicated moderation team to monitor the play tab and enforce these policies. This isn't just about removing bad rooms, it's about making sure quality rooms are easy to find. If Rec Room focused on improving the recommended for you section with better recommendations, players would have a much more enjoyable experience. The play tab had so much potential, but it's lost that potential without stronger moderation and better enforcement of existing guidelines. Rec Originals used to be great, but lately they just haven't been hitting the same. Rec Rally was fun at first, but lost momentum really fast. Showdown was just a complete mess, and Make It to Midnight was doing well until updates stopped coming, which made it lose players quickly. My Little Monsters didn't do well either, mainly because it was a single player experience, and Run the Block felt more like Stunt Runner 2.0, and it was just easy to finish in a day. The lack of updates for all these games is what made them die out so fast. Players still enjoy other games like Paintball, Laser Tag, and Dodgeball, which shows that the newer ROs aren't living up to expectations. What Rec Room really needs is consistency with RO updates and some fresh ideas. The community's been asking for a new quest for years, but Rec Room just says, we'll make it when we're ready. A new quest would be a perfect way to bring back that excitement, especially now when players are craving something new. The shift from the old bean body to this new one with its odd face shape, face positioning, and animation feels like they're taking away all the nostalgia. I don't mind the idea of full body avatars, but what's frustrating is that they're moving everything in that direction and making the bean body feel less relevant now. UGC cosmetics have become a huge part of the game, but it's a real letdown that you have to use the new bean body or full body avatars to equip them. Even the possibility of a legacy option for the old bean body seems unlikely, and that's pretty disappointing. Rec Room has an issue with listening to the community a ton. Like how they didn't care about how the community felt when the weeklies were removed, they just moved on like it was nothing. And that had a huge impact on the game that made a lot of people upset till this very day. They really don't notify the community about a lot of things and just kinda do things without the community's opinion first. Which is saddening since what they normally do stays even after the community voices their thoughts, feelings, and opinions. I really do wish they could at least let the community know about stuff before just doing it, because who knows, it could be something that affects someone's room, the maker pen, or even leagues. Like when they added controller hand offsets in the settings, people could literally just cheat now in games with longer reach. I feel like split tests exclude a large portion of the player base, and it can be frustrating whenever the person who gets the split test doesn't even care about the changes being tested. It's like half of the community doesn't get to experience something new just because they're not a part of that test group, even if it could improve the game overall. It would be better if they could find a way to involve more of the player base in meaningful ways so that everyone can at least get a taste of what's being worked on. The whole point of testing things is to get feedback, but if only a fraction of the players are involved, how can you get accurate and broad feedback on whether the change will be a good fit for everyone? Contests used to bring the community together, inspiring players to create amazing video, art, and build projects. Unfortunately, Rec Room has been really inconsistent with hosting contests, leaving a lot of creators feeling demotivated and disappointed. I think having more build contests could help highlight higher quality rooms on the hot page. The prizes could also be more unique and valuable, maybe even like a little badge for winners. As a video creator, I really miss video contests, and I know a lot of others do too. They encouraged creativity and gave us more motivation to post. Hopefully Rec Room brings back contests on a more consistent schedule because they really made a difference in the community. Rec Room barely interacts with its community. I mentioned this in my last video, but the last real engagement I remember was when they brought Double Shot back to the bow, and they finally added Crescendo to Quest. And even that took way too long, which just highlights the lack of interaction. I really wish Rec Room engaged with players more. Things like community polls or interactive events could help a lot. It would be great to have the whole community come together for something big, like the League of Heroes, but with actual cool stuff instead of just some lame obby. At first the lore seemed interesting, but it quickly became clear that it was just a way to push more cosmetics.
Is the lore actually going to lead to something instead of just selling cosmetics?
No.
That's pretty much everything I wanted to say. Rec Room isn't what it used to be, and I wish they'd do more to make it better. But honestly, in my eyes, things have only gotten worse. At first I thought I'd just make less Rec Room content, but now I've decided to just stop entirely. I'm not happy with the game anymore, and I'd rather focus on things that actually make me excited to create. Rec Room clearly has a vision they're pushing for, but they just don't seem to care how the community feels about it. And that just shows how much the game has changed. I really wish things had turned out differently, but it is what it is. Rec Room, I wish you good luck, but it's time for me to move on. I appreciate everyone who supported my Rec Room content, but this is the end of that chapter. From now on, I'll be making content on other VR games like Bone Lab, Blade and Sorcery, Phasmophobia, Gorilla Tag, and more. That's all for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.